Hello, welcome to this your channel on the band Eurofan. That's me. After the retro-style proposal presented by the twins of Tyrol Rank X during last year's contest, with which unfortunately they got the worst historic result for the country in the competition, Azerbaijan will give its participation despite the flood suffered, looking to amend the failures and being among the finalists again. For this, we will see that the next artist will have the occasion of representing the Caucasian country in Momo. Here we go. For today's episode, I'm going to review the Azerbaijani entry for Eurovision 2024, which has been represented by the duo of singers Fahree İlkin Dövlətov with the song Özünlə Apar, which in English translates as Take Me With You. First of all, let's see a little about the biography and career of the two of them and how they joined to live the Eurovision experience in the Scandinavian country. Let's begin first with Fahree İlkin, mostly well known as Fahree, which is an Azerbaijani singer and songwriter coming from the country's capital, Baku. He grows up in a family dedicated to performing arts, being his father a jazz drummer and his grandfather a renowned actor in the country. However, far from following the artistic heritage of his family, despite he had the dream of becoming a musical artist, he will pursue studies in law, having his degree, thus becoming a lawyer, and shortly after he will get a master's degree. But later, at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, he will reconsider his professional career, thinking instead of pursuing a career in music as he imagined since he was a kid. Since then, he will put his law career on hold and he will start to pursue a career in music. In 2022, he will release his first official single in English, so far the only one in his career, as he will focus later in the release of singles in his native language, Azerbaijani. On the other hand, İlkin Dövlətov is an Azerbaijani Mugham singer, also coming from the Azerbaijani capital. Like Fahree, he grows up in a family dedicated to music, being his father his biggest inspiration in deciding on pursue a musical career. True to the folk tradition of his family, İlkin will be performing songs in Mugham, which is the traditional musical genre in the Caucasian country, having himself a quite particular and characteristic singing style. During last year, he will start to get quite noticed in his native country, with his participation in the first season of the Azerbaijani native folk version of The Voice, where he will place second at the end of the season. Since then, he will release a couple of singles which do not have too much transcendence, however, being the two of them very emerging and two different artists. You must wonder in this case how is that they join forces to represent their country at the Eurovision. Let's see now in further detail. As usual, the Azerbaijani public broadcaster will continue its internal selection method for the artists and the song that will represent the country in Sweden. In this sense, a submission period was open in mid-July of last year for the artists and songwriters who wanted to take part in the process, closing it by late September of last year. By the deadline, it was known that 214 proposals were received, with 88 of them being sent by Azerbaijani artists. Shortly after, an expert panel will reveal the received proposals, long listing them to 16, which ended up to be 15, and progressing to a live audition round that will take place in late October of last year. A few days later, it was revealed that 6 of these artists will have progressed from the live auditions round, being Fahree among them, who attended as a soloist at first, while İlkin was part of a trio formed for the occasion, together with the singles Mila Miles and Etibar sadly. And even there was Aysel, who was the Azerbaijani representative 6 years ago in the audition held in Lisbon, Portugal. After these auditions, the singers per panel will be in charge of the selection of the artists, also in consultations with focus groups of Eurofans journalists and music professionals. By last February, there were rumors that supposedly Aysel and the trio formed by İlkin, Mila and Etibar were the top 2 artists in the race for being the representative, until it was revealed by the broadcaster in early last March the internal selection of Fahree, then refuting those rumors. But later, a few days before the song premiered in the middle of that same month. It was also revealed that İlkin will perform a part of the song in the Mugham style, thus joining Fahree to set a duo that will eventually travel to Malmö. Sometime later, they will work in the recording and production of what it will be the official music video, which will be finally released in late last April. A track about personal rebirth by Prologue. Now I'm going to analyze a little more in detail about this proposal with which they have attended the contest. The melody blends modern pop with Mugham traditional sounds, emphasized mostly in the vocal performance in the style of the Latin musical genre by İlkin, while Fahree performs the melodic line of the song. Here is to stand out that this is not the first time we listen Mugham in the contest. In one hand, Sabina Babayeva, who was the Azerbaijani representative in 2012 when the country hosted the contest in Baku. She was joined by a Mugham singer on the stage. And in the other hand, probably the most known case, it was Jamala herself who performed part of the song in Mugham style for her winning song in 1944 during the competition held in Stockholm, Sweden. Talking about the lyrics, it has been written by Fahree himself together with a group of songwriters. Although the song's title is in Azerbaijani, there are only a couple of phrases in this language, being it the first time in the history of the contest that the official language of the Caucasian country is featured, while the rest of the lyrics are performed in English, which is not too long, however. About the context behind it, it talks about the personal struggles and journey of Fahree towards self-love and inner peace through authentic love. It is said that it is dedicated to Fahree's girlfriend, referencing her as that right person that can be capable of releasing the emotional burdens, evidencing how powerful can be honest and deep love. This is also perceived in the lyrics when you read it in detail, describing those emotional burdens as hurricanes, mysteries, and sensations of chaos, emphasizing the performance especially with the Mugham voices, which will be released like chains that are breaking, from that special person that comes to our lives to change everything around us and inside of us. There is no doubt that this is a love song, where beyond having a message, it transmits an intense emotional state with which many can feel identified. And it is true that there are moments in which we feel lost, and that special someone comes to help us finding ourselves and finding love, changing our lives forever. After having reviewed more about the song, let's see how have they portrayed the topic described in the lyrics through the official music video. The plot begins with Fahree being in a sauna spot, wearing a futuristic style outfit while performing the first verse, while very long fabrics come out of his back, simulating cakes waving in the air. When he starts to walk, the fabrics get detached from his back. I guess this will symbolize those emotional burdens carried with him, and that finally gets rid of. Towards the chorus, he goes to another spot full of rocks of different sizes. Then he touches the rocks with the palms of his hands, emitting some turquoise rings like he's transmitting energy to the rocks. Turns out that it is the only color seen during the music video, as the picture is in black and white. In some moment when the Mugham chant is heard, there is a shot of İlkin at the edge of a big inclined rock, while a small orchestra joins behind him in the rock. In the reprise of the verse, Fahree keeps walking in the area, now seeing him in a long spot with the land dried and cracked due to the absence of humidity. And shortly after, during the bridge, there are alternate shots of Fahree starting to raise his arms, emitting the same energy applied to the rocks before, and of İlkin performing the Mugham chant in the same inclined rock with much intensity. For the second chorus, Fahree channels the energy towards the earth, then spreading by all over the area, while the dynamic remains mostly the same. With the song's outro, there are two instances seen, the first one with a close-up of Fahree, and the other one with a shot of himself looking at two hands that have emerged through the ground, thus finishing the performance. In this case, the duo was of the few artists that did not present their proposal live during the Eurovision pre-parties organized during the season, so we could only expect on how they will present it at the contest. To which they said it will be a continuation from the music video, suggesting in this case that the plot of it has to be understood initially to understand the staging properly. I'm talking about the staging in Momo, by the way. It could be seen during the first rehearsals that it will eventually take elements from the music video, with Fahree and İlkin wearing very similar futuristic outfits. Standing out visual graphics with a female figure which looks like it is almost underwater, as well as two open hangers with Fahree in the middle, while the lighting is mostly white, keeping the same black and white theme like the music video. Watching the live performance in the first semi-final, it starts with Fahree at the center of the stage, while a halo and the female figure appear in the visual graphics, slowly coming out of the water while he performs the first verse. In some moments, it is seen that the female figure starts to move her arms by adopting certain meditation positions that are also seen in the LED screens of the stage floor, like she's moving them under the water, giving a somewhat curious and interesting effect and leaving some purple trails. At the end of the first chorus is when İlkin appears at one side of the stage, although not having too much prominence for the moment. With the reprise of the verse, the hands of the female figure are seen again in the leg strings of the stage floor, while Fahree walks to the other side of the stage. Then, during the bridge, the shot is focused on İlkin, performing the Mughal shot while the lighting is a little more energetic, until the hands appear at the center of the stage by the second chorus, being Fahree in the middle of them. For the song's outro, İlkin comes to the center of the stage to turn his back on Fahree, and then there are spinning shots of the two of them, closing the performance with both of them raising their arms to the front, while the female figure and the halo disappear again on the water. The performance from both of them has been good, this cannot be denied. But I have problems with this proposal they have presented because it does not say anything to me. And as far as I'm concerned, I didn't understand the music video too much, with that futuristic but dull facet. So the staging has also been incomprehensible to me as well. Maybe I'm not the only one that has reached the same conclusion, as it has been reflected in the few points received by the public, which has left them second to last in their semi-final. Making a summary of all the comments, I'm not pretty convinced with the Azerbaijani entry for this year. In my opinion, despite having an interesting contrast between modern pop and Mughal, which gives a subtly intriguing character, it seems to me that they had opted for a very dark thing and that does not stand out, losing out the contest at the meaning that the song initially has. Once again, this was an unfavorable result for the Caucasian country, chaining a second consecutive disqualification, being it the first time that happens in the career of the country in the contest. About the two of them, Fahree has released a new single in Azerbaijan shortly after his participation at the contest, probably with the intention of keeping establishing among the Azerbaijani musical scene, while in the case of İlkin, it is not clear which will be his next steps, although it is quite likely that he will continue promoting Mughal, thus maintaining the family artistic tradition. Time will tell if they will part ways in their respective musical careers from now on, or if they will have more collaborations in the future. And you, what do you think about the Azerbaijani entry for this year? Leave your comments down below to start the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. Don't forget to like this video if it was of your taste so you can help me to spread it among the people. Subscribe to my channel and enable notifications by hitting the bell and find me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.